Would you agree that communication is important? I mean, what if I just strung together some words like this? Shoe, table, fridge, coffee pot, life, lemonade. Would that mean anything to you? Probably not. We can string words together and not have them mean anything at all, though we know what a shoe is and a coffee pot is, and we know what lemonade is. We understand those words, but together, they really don't mean anything, right? So you would agree that communication is important. You would agree that the way that I communicate to you today in this video is important. Well, I believe how important it is to be teaching our children good communication skills. And that's what I want to look at today. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. Thank you so much for joining me today as I get back into one of those things that I absolutely love. Skills-based learning. Yes, I love skills-based learning. To me, it is where I have landed educationally in what I want to do for my girls and in what I sort of encourage and champion. I have some videos on this already about the 4 C's, the 21st century skills of creativity, communication, critical thinking, and collaboration. Okay, check them out. I'll link them below. But also, check out the other videos that I have that sort of surround all of this, like this one today, like the other ones that I have. Thank you for those who have already subscribed to Learning Life. Don't forget to subscribe, to share with your friends, because communicating is important. And I love communicating my heart and my ideas and my thoughts because I want to get out there and to support you. But as you know, I need to be able to provide, the meaning to it so that thinking, I need those, my friends out here who are listening to this and watching this today to understand what I'm talking about. I could use the biggest words and that wouldn't really help. I could use really tiny words and that necessarily won't help either. It is very important. And I believe that our children need to learn strong communication skills. Our reading and our writing, yes, is part of communication. Okay, it really is, because we have to be able to read and understand what's going on. It is not just words strung together with no meaning. But it's not just what we read. It's not just what we write. It's also what we say. It's also what we're doing with our bodies. And children need to know the verbal and the nonverbal communication. They need to know how to present meaning and to put things in so that other people understand, because communication is a two-way street. Yes, I could be talking, but you're listening and you need to understand. I mean, how many times have we sort of said something and then gone, oh, no, that's not what I meant, when you realize that the other person didn't get your initial intended meaning. Okay, it happens to us. It happens with our children, and communication skills are important. And with that, the best way is to have fun and have communication activities. So are they important? Are communication activities important? You betcha. They are essential, because not every child is going to be fully engaged in that reading and writing to learn everything about intent. But again, that's just one form. We're not having that listening part. When we have these games and these activities, what a fun environment that we can make mistakes and we can learn, because communication is a skill. We must practice it. Okay, so we've got to develop that. We've got to be thinking and listening that it's about the tone of voice. It's about what our face says. I mean, who agrees that our face says something? And, this is what we want for our children so that they can be expressing ideas. And children who are good communicators and are good at expressing their ideas and their thoughts and opinions in written or in verbal are going to do better than those who are just academically good. Okay, and don't we want to set our children up for success? I know. that I do. And communication is something that I work on with my girls all the time. I'll be like, but your face is saying this. Or what do you mean by that? Like, how could we change this to be speaking kindly? So we work on all of that, but it's even better to have some fun. So let's look at 4 more activities that we can be using to be teaching communication. Back to back. This is a fun one. You need 2 people, okay? And they're going to be sitting back to back. One is going to be our listener and doer. The other one is going to be communicating. This is one that you can start at a young age. Again, all of these ones that I'm giving you today, you can be doing in an easy way and then building it up and leveling it up to be more advanced, okay? So we're back to back. This one might have pen and paper, and this one is going to describe something for this one to draw. Okay, so they have to think about where do they want this person to start the drawing? What do they want them to do? And so they are giving the instructions. They're having to communicate clearly these instructions so that this one can be drawing. And it's always fun to look at the end. And did these 2 things match up? Like, how close was this drawing to the original intent? That is it's a lot of fun. And you can build it up and you can make it more advanced as older ones. You can even use blocks or M&Ms because food is great. We've got our younger children. This one has a pile of like M&Ms, and this one is going to give an order to sort them out and to put them in. And again, we are communicating verbally for intent, and this one has to listen and then do. So this is a fun one, back to back, again, from early ages all the way through to our older children who are more advanced. Movement sticks. Maybe we could just call this movement because you can use sticks, you can use balloons, you can use whatever. Again, this is fun. It's a paired activity. And what I love doing with this one is making it completely nonverbal. Okay, so you give the instructions, right? All right, in your pairs, I'm going to give you this stick. Maybe it's a pop stick, maybe it's a bigger stick outside, maybe it's a blown up balloon. And I need you to work together to get this stick or balloon to the end of the course without dropping it and without using words. So even in that initial stage, they are having now to communicate with each other their ideas about what they could be doing to get that stick to the end without dropping it. And so it's a great way of building up. Like, okay, for me, I'm so used to using my words, but now how can I present an idea and have the other person sort of get it as well? And are we in agreement or without words? So this is a great nonverbal one about using our body language, our facial expressions. And in that way, we're having to listen with our eyes, right? I say this to my girls, they're like, you can't listen with your eyes. I sort of beg to differ. Blindfold obstacle course. This one is also, again, I'm saying it's fun. It's fun. One person is going to be blindfolded, and there is an obstacle course set up around the room or outside, wherever it is. And the remaining members of the group are going to have to get our blindfolded person through the obstacle course without being hurt, without bumping into the different things. So this one really has to listen and to be able to follow and do. And this group have to work together to communicate for meaning. And I love it because, again, it could be a very simple thing with starting with younger children. Maybe it's not an obstacle course, but, take 5 steps forward, 2 steps to the right. Who's right? We've got this group is going to be facing them, all of that to building up this obstacle course. And this group can't just be shouting over each other because that creates confusion. Remember, we don't want confusion in our communication. We want clear understanding. So blindfold games is great, especially when we've taken away a sense. And so now we are just listening for that meaning to be able to follow through. Identify the object. This is another fun blindfold game. So really, I'd say a group of like 4 or 5. One of the group is blindfolded, and the others are going to have an object that they are describing to our blindfolded person. So it might be something like a spiky ball or whatever it is. Again, start easy, build up. And so they take it in turns to describe just different parts of it. We can't just say, it's round, and then leave it at that and hope that somebody's going to get. We're going to build up with our clues, and this person has to try to guess. Again, we can start easy. And then for our older children, I always love sort of giving those restrictions of you have to describe it without using like the exact words. Like let's say it is a pink object. You can't say that it's pink. You could maybe say something like, it's not quite red and it's not quite white. Just like to try to think of different ways that we could be communicating without using that catchword. And I love that. And I love see like a group try to do it. And how quickly can the blindfolded person work out the object? Again, we are communicating for understanding. We are listening for understanding to try and put it all together. Now, I love in all of these activities that I've shared with you today, they also cross over into collaboration and teamwork. You've got to work together. And that really helps to highlight how communication is a two-way street. We can't just say something and expect the others to be able to understand it. Okay, if I just string together sentences, or if I speak to you in another language that you don't understand, you're not going to get it. This is how communication works. I'm presenting something in the hopes that you will understand. You are listening for understanding. Okay, and if we were having a conversation, then we're back and forth with it. Our children need to learn this. They need to have fun with this. They need to build these skills and then level up. So I hope that you can have some fun with this. I am going to do a couple more videos in this series about as we sort of again look at these 4 C's and some extra fun activities that you can do to help your children build up these skills. So stay tuned. Well, thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for being part of this learning life and just sort of joining me in this journey that I'm even having with just exploding out different ideas when it comes to education, especially making it fun, making it real, and especially building our children up for success. And if you want to be part of this Learning Life community, yes, you can do it through subscribing and watching these videos, but you can also join us as a champion. And you can do that through patreon.com or check out my website, LearningThis.Life.